1 year ago today, no, 1 year ago, the end of May, after Chrism Kundalini, had a seminar in Karlsruhe, Germany, and this was a month after the Colorado seminar, and we were putting out awareness about our experiences, and they weren't believing us. And one of his followers, a man named Matthew, they called him Michael Del Sol on the group. He's gone from the group now. His name is Matthew. Oh, anyways, I can't think of it right now. He threatened me. Chrism asked him to threaten me to take the false guru group down because it was created for us to understand what happened and his history, and we did. After we were able to have enough discussion about him, the false guru group became the focus of sharing information on other false gurus, which it seems like it's every single one of them. I remember when I was reading books in the beginning for years, like 7, 8 years, when I first became awake, which was in 2004, although I had an awakening previously when I was 17. I was reading these books and I was on a poetry site because poetry was running through me as it does. And while I was reading esoteric books, theosophical teachings and such, that language was running through me. And this is, in the beginning, probably what happened to Chris. Is he was trying to understand some activity that was going on in his body, and he took the books that he was reading and lied and said this stuff was happening to him, which it wasn't. What was happening to me is you immediately get people thinking that you're all that and wanting to put you up on a pedestal. And for me, that's not my type of personality. I would just act silly, and I just wanted to be friends with everyone, and that was it. I never ever wanted any followers. But he's a totally different type of personality. He's a control freak, a sociopath, narcissist. So what was happening to him, which is some sort of lower, because of his behavior, it opens up the lower realms, not the higher realms, but the lower realms, and he has some visions there where he can see dark entities, and this is what he warns people about most, because it's all he sees. He doesn't see anything else but that. At the seminars, he asks you to come feel above his head, and there's nothing there. This is not just something else that gurus do to try to fool you. The first seminar I went to was in Minnesota, and it wasn't much. The second seminar I went to was also in Minnesota here, and people came from one lady from Ireland, one that I had looked up to so much, another one from Australia. We had people here from like 5 different areas in the world. And it was after this seminar that I agreed to become a student for all about 2 weeks, because of the mantra, because all it is he doesn't help you. He wants you to repeat a mantra to him, and he wants you to get naked. Well, I was so conflicted because the woman that I trusted so much said that this was, for her, this was a blissful thing. And, maybe it was for her, but it isn't for anyone else. And I saw I felt the conflict in myself. I saw the conflict on a younger woman's face. Michelle, she made a pilgrimage all the way from Australia. She thought of Chris as a father figure. And here she becomes a student because we're in full trust because of the woman in Ireland, because we looked up to her and we felt she was genuine. We thought the world of her. And so against our guts, we did this and then felt horrible about it. It's not what do you call it when well, let me just, maybe it'll come to me, but I saw the conflict on her face. She was going through the same thing I was going through, seriously conflicted, taking it out on your boyfriend, the conflict you're feeling inside. And then when I saw it on my roommate from the Colorado's seminar, when I saw it on her face, that was enough. That was it for me. So if it happens to you, you're more than likely just going to leave and disconnect from the whole group, from him, the whole group, from all those people. You probably just disconnect from everything. But if it happens to somebody you care about, that's when you stand up and say, fuck this shit. And that's when you start seeing everything that had been happening, all the contradictions, all the lies, all the red flags. That's when you stand up and say, no, this isn't going to keep happening. And since I did that, I lost a lot of friends. I did a lot of things that maybe I did a few things that I shouldn't have, because we tried to take the main woman down, the one that made this scam feel trustworthy, against our gut, against our hearts, against our minds. I was mean to her because somebody told me something that about this naked devotion and about her holding his like a scepter, and it probably wasn't true. It's something somebody made up. Whether it was or it wasn't, I shouldn't have said that on social media. We were feeling she was like going against us. She was signing a petition to keep his group open. She was still broadcasting him live every week on Blog Talk Radio. I was so disappointed in her because she had a 23-year-old woman stay in her home after a seminar in 2012, after spending 3 days with Chris Mitchell. And this is the woman, Lorena, from Italy, and she stayed in her home after shock of what Chris put this woman through is so degrading and so sick. And she told Amelia with her own mouth while she was still in shock. And Amelia did not back her up. Amelia was, goddammit, she was fucking 50 years old. This is a 23-year-old woman. Okay, so that's where my anger comes from. It goes beyond Lorena. I'm not going to give her real name. I know her in person now. I know her personally. I know who she is. And so there's no way anybody can say to me, she made this up. I know the other woman, Kate, who was the daughter of Tim that wrote his story. She was only 17 while Chris was trying to get her to come to Santa Rosa to take his semen because she needed it. There's all these stories and some. He told another woman, her friend that she brought over to his house, he says, well, I'm going to have to drive you home. On the way home, he said, your friend, I'm going to have to, has entities, and I'm going to have to go inside her vagina to get them out. Another woman, okay, let's just forget all the 6 stories. Let's just, you can read them on Cult Education Forum. They started in 2012, but the stories began before that and during the Yahoo group days that he was on. And they continue. Most people walk away. Some people do write their stories, but like anything, you can imagine that for every woman that writes a story, there's probably 50 more that don't. Okay, so please help us if you can. Report his group, Kundalini Awakening, with a exclamation mark at the end of it. It's ran by Chris Mitchell, aka Chrism Kundalini. You can report the group. You can report his YouTube channel. You can go to Chrism Kundalini. He has a page where you can write a review. Hey guys, my cat's outside. She wants to come in, so I gotta go. Try to make more videos when I can. Love you all. Okay, bye.